Welcome, I'll be reacting to Timeslip, Season 1, Episode 7. Selected clips are provided for commentary purposes. This is not a market substitute. Support the original and no spoilers in the comments, please.
What is a time bubble? Well, you can't see it, of course, but it may help you to visualize it, to think of it as a balloon.
Oh my goodness.
Information about events is flashing constantly back and forth between you and the edge of that sphere. The present and the future, virtually all at the same moment.
I don't adhere to the sphere theory. However, I do adhere to time happening all simultaneously. We just don't perceive it that way most of our existence. So I do believe time is happening all at once, but I don't know about the sphere thing. I think the universe is probably infinite.
Watch now as Liz and Simon move once again through time.
I guess we're getting that mini science intro for each new story. Here for it.
Well, we better get her closer to the fire.
Is she really cold?
Of course, she's cold, man. She's shivering.
Oh, good. He's still here. Last episode, he was like, yeah, I'm just leaving. Maybe Commander Trainer will do the right thing. Gerry's out.
I thought they only had to get through the hole in the fence to be back in their own time.
Yes, so did I. But in an area like this, one's always learning.
How are you not noticing two kids behind you? Okay, good. The question is, are they doing this out of friendliness and concern, or do they want something nefarious with them? This looks futuristic. I'm gonna go with they're in the future. Oh, definitely the future. Look at this outfit.
On the form, I'd say that these two fledglings are going to come up smiling and baffle medical science.
I don't understand it.
The great thing about that is, Beth, we don't need to. For the various super brains we've got around this place, we wouldn't need to know.
Some sort of research outpost, then.
I can manage to proceed according to schedule. Put the computer back on auto control.
I feel like I'm watching Ironheart. Similar tech.
I've told staff members these things must be correct to the microdecimal. It's the only way of ensuring that everyone gets his accurate dose of HA57. Human error. Last enemy in a technological world.
Nice guy.
The computer abnegates all responsibility. The computer can't lie, so the fault must be elsewhere.
I really dislike this director. Yeah, humans make mistakes, but so does the computer. I mean, 5 minutes on Google AI will tell you that. Computers can't be trusted any more than humans. They're helpful tools, same as everything else. Subject to their programming, their training, glitches. As hard as you work to make them stable, they're always going to be a little bit unstable. Just like us.
Come in, Beth. Come in.
A lot of protocol going on.
Where am I?
Take it easy. The International Institute for Biological Research. Okay?
She's the nicest person here. At least she seems like it. Dun dun dun.
You remember? The International Institute
For Biological Research.
That's it. You remember?
He's like, yeah.
With the South Pole just down the road. What else did you expect?
Okay, so we're on Earth. We're doing Shackleton. Soonliest?
There, you see? A complete briefing from the computer, plain as day, earmarked for action.
That's interesting. So I'm still guessing this is set in the future, and I like that they assumed the English language would shift slightly, which it has. I mean, if you went back to the era in which this film series was shot and we're like, yeah, let's totally like yeet that scene. You know, it just doesn't have drip. They'd be like, I'm sorry, what? And so they're dropping in a few words here and there that are shifted. Like what would happen to the English language in a few years? Soonliest. I enjoy that attention to detail.
So I didn't think the experiment AB494Z was to be considered operational.
If confirmation had been necessary, the computer would have requested it. Can't you understand this, Larry? I'm tired of telling people that I programmed the computer to attend to things like this by itself.
Yes, Director.
Don't pit your wits against the computer, man.
I'm Team Larry.
But scientific experimentation is a road without an ending. We must push on.
Yeah, you also need something called ethics, Director.
Why is it I can talk to you, I wonder? Only you seem to understand.
'Cause she's colder than the ice out there. At least what we've seen so far. And so are you.
Prints off copies of the world's newspapers as soon as the papers reach the streets. And here,
Oh, good. We need a date.
you just shut your eyes and relax. Would you like to try it?
Oh, I'm not sure.
In a film, instead of just looking at it, if you know what I mean. I always go home in fantasy.
Where is home, Dr. Joynton?
I come from New Zealand.
Oh, okay. You know, of all the places to go to, I would probably jump into New Zealand also.
Thanks very much, sir. We shouldn't have strayed from the shelter.
You certainly shouldn't. Oh, the computer is everything here. More important than us. We are simply its servants. You're here for the AB experiment, aren't you?
AB experiment?
Well, that's what the record said.
Oh, yes, of course.
The sleeping quarters are on the floor below. You'll be allotted places in due time. You've no right to be here. Why did you follow me? Don't let me catch you interfering.
What? What was that? What is her deal?
The director asked me to introduce them to the icebox. But as it happens, I've had enough of that for the moment. Quite enough.
Is she the computer?
So meet the computer.
Why do I get the feeling that Beth is possessed by the computer? Or some other AI? She doesn't seem human. And the director spends a lot of his time plugged into the computer. And he's like, how is it you're the only one I can really talk to who gets me? Because she's possessed. That is my theory. Anyway.
It has to be freshly prescribed every morning for each individual, according to changes in body temperature, pulse rate, and all that. The drug stops the process of decay, so people who take it simply don't grow any older. But it's certainly the biggest discovery the director has made since the icebox was founded.
And when was that?
She's getting on for 100.
No!
On the level.
Blimey. You said you perfected brain-computer links in...
1985.
And what year is it now, exactly?
It's just 1985. Well, that would be... how many years ago now?
What's up, forgotten how to count? Isn't this 1990?
1990! Bless you, early science fiction, for thinking we'd have our stuff together that fast. It's always funny when they're like, in the far future of when you were like a tiny child. When did I get my first computer? Here it is, 1997. This was my first computer. 7 years after this far futuristic storyline. Oh dear.
No, we're not going to stick around to be part of some new experiment or other. They think we're a couple of guinea pigs. Do you think the time barrier's still there?
Yeah, we've got like 5 more episodes to go. You're not gonna make it. What?
Back door, fathead! No! Simon! Sam, do you know who was in that room? It was Mummy! Mummy!
Whoa. There is a lot going on right now. Some great new characters got introduced who are all quite fascinating in their own way. The person Liz saw as her mother, what if it's her, but older? A lot of times people end up growing up to look like one of their parents. And it would explain why she got pulled into that time period. There's a connection there to her own timeline. Alternatively, of course, it really is her mother, and she was taking that drug since 1984. So she aged a little bit more and then froze. But I feel like she would have had more gray hair and wrinkles if that was the case. So I'm leaning more toward it's Liz. Larry is adorable and super likable, which makes him really sus. He's too easy to like. I think so far out of everyone, I trust Dr. Bukoff the most. He seems reasonable. And from a writer's perspective, I would be less inclined to make him the secret bad guy. Whereas if Larry was, that would be a brilliant writing move, because 2 or 3 episodes from now, we're all completely enamored of Larry, and then to have him do something, you'd be like, what? So, Dr. Edith, I really like her character. She's the most grounded out of everyone, but I don't entirely trust her yet. She's a bit Stepford wifey. They did get one thing right, and that's computers are basically running everything, and there's an ongoing society, shall we say, discussion about whether or not humanity has any worth anymore compared to computers, where AI is given a higher rank, I guess you could say, in society than some humans are, which unfortunately is where we are right now. So they got that right. Thankfully, we are not wearing those outfits, though. The thing I like about the UFO silver outfit tunic thing is there's no random cutouts. It's sleek. And then for the LTs, it's sexy, but also still elegant. Where like someone took the really nice moon base UFO outfits and were like, what if we add a bunch of random extra things to them that ruin the design? And I, Alexa, am looking at this going, what have you done to the beautiful UFO-esque outfits? But I'm fascinated by this. I hope that after this story, the next one will be like way back in time, like, I don't know, Middle Ages or something. And then the next story, they jump into the future again. That'd be really fun. I haven't seen a lot of sci-fi from this time going, we're in the far future of 2139. No, it's like 1999, 1990, 2001. And I'm like, I was a kid. It's not the future. Although it must be really surreal if you grew up, say, watching Timeslip, and you go into a store and they're like, historic vintage clothing, and it's just stuff you used to wear. That would be disturbing. I'm beginning to get some of that. They had a 1990s night at like a high school prom in this area recently, and I'm like, excuse me? What? That's vintage now? I feel so old. Anyway, it's fun. I like this twist. The icebox idea is fascinating, and the fact that they're going to have trouble getting out. There's no way they're going to leave the next episode. They're totally going to get caught and brought back and put under lock and key. No more fantasy room for you.